tournament #4 seed. She was the only seed who made it through to the semi-finals in a tournament that was blown wide open. Some really upset performances. Wu Hong, the reigning Asian champion, having boxed her way to gold in the Continental Championships last summer. She's ranked 12th in the world, tournament #4 seed here. She's competing in her 4th bout, having received a bye in the opening round. And she's squaring off against a home boxer, Valentina Khalzova. Just 20 years of age, the reigning 5-time national championship gold medalist. 2 senior titles, 2 youth titles, 1 junior title. She's come all the way through the developmental program here in Kazakhstan. World Youth Bronze medalist in 2011. World Junior Championship medalist, excuse me, a youth champion in 2013 and a junior championship bronze medalist on the world stage in 2011. And in this, her 2nd appearance at the senior championships. She's improved on the quarter-final finish she produced in Jeju 2 years ago, and is now contesting World Championship gold. No doubt in the locker room, in the bowels of the Barris Arena, she will have heard the Kazakhstan national anthem ring out twice today, with victory in the 48-kilogram light flyweight and 54-kilogram bantamweight divisions. How she would love to hear it played in her honor to make it 3 out of 3 for the home nation. But she faces a very talented individual in the form of the reigning national champion, reigning Asian champion, Wu Hong of China. So Jennifer Huggins, the referee from Canada, gets this contest underway, and immediately, as she did in her semi-final win yesterday, Khalzova on the front foot and trying to take it to her opponent, but now getting her boxing stance established and has just landed a cracking right hand, is the boxer wearing red, the tournament #4 seed, Wu Hong of China, wearing the red vest.
What we tended to see yesterday with China was that they'd have a good two rounds and then after fade a little bit. So if Khalzova can push the pace and take it out of a comfort zone, she'll be able to pick it up as well and gain extra rounds in the latter stages.
She beat Lena Gustafsson yesterday because, as you pointed out, in that semi-final win, it was a good performance in the early stages, but round 4 was adjudged to have gone Gu's way, and that didn't tally with what most observers were watching yesterday. Gustafsson from Finland perhaps consider herself very unfortunate to lose, to have been judged the loser of that 4th and final round, which, and that the momentum that she had built up was stopped. And that's how Gu booked herself this place in the final. What does she have left here in this gold medal bout? Her talent's not in question. Can she demonstrate the imagination and energy that seemed to fade in that 4th and final round yesterday?
Both boxers have got to watch what they're doing here, because they both have got very low, relaxed lead hands. 2 orthodox boxers, and they keep circling to their left. And you're just inviting the right hand over the top. Look how low the guards are. There was one there, look, right on cue. So both boxers have got faults here in terms of their guard. And it just takes a little bit of class just to whip one over, set your opponents up with that right hand over the top.
So the opening round in the bag. Plenty of encouragement for Khalzova.
On 2 occasions just before the bell, when she's walking forward, piston punching and things like that can win you the round for being the aggressor when it's been a close round and pretty inactive.
Sometimes that's all it needs, isn't it, when it is close. Boxer just walking forward, throwing 2s and 3s, looking like the aggressive boxer. Can just nick you the round. Again, there's not a lot in this one. Let's have a look.
It's gone in favor of Gu. So Khalzova finds herself facing a deficit after the opening round. How big a part can they play? They try to rouse their boxer to get back on terms. So into the second round then of this 69-kilogram welterweight gold medal bout. Boxer wearing blue, Valentina Khalzova of Kazakhstan, just 20 years of age, a glittering career in the developmental ranks. She's being forced backwards here by Gu, who has suddenly got onto the front foot. Khalzova's stance betrayed her completely. She found herself in an awful tangle. And that's the first time we've seen her put under that type of pressure, because one of the hallmarks of her boxing has been her brilliant left jab. There was a round yesterday in her semi-final victory over Nadina Petz of Germany where she practically won the round with the jab alone, but not able to establish what was a trip hammer of a left hand yesterday in the semi-final. Not able to establish it to this point here.
Well, we've all heard of walking forward, throwing punches, but Gu there, she took it to another level, Tash, I think, didn't she? She wouldn't let her off the hook.
She's actually beaten Khalzova at her own aim. Like you said yesterday, Khalzova had a brilliant jab. Gu is just, it's come out in the second round, and all she's doing is throwing an effective jab that's landing, and that is making Khalzova think about what she's doing.
Straight right hand to the body was a decent shot from Khalzova. Having conceded the opening round, beyond the midpoint of this second round, there's been no discernible change from the work of the boxer in blue. She was pretty much steamrolled in the opening 30 seconds or so as Gu got onto the front foot, walked her down incessantly.
You see Gu throws this right hand sometimes, just leans over to the left. And she's just trying to get the timing right as Khalzova's coming forward. There it was again there, look, you see. She just dips to the left and throws that right hand. Khalzova, if she's got no head movement coming forward, she's going to walk onto it.
Khalzova trying to get herself some effective offense going. She tries to pin Gu to the ropes, but really the big start enjoyed by Gu, which put Khalzova in a not difficulty, but certainly made her uncomfortable as she was driven backwards, forcing her to turn her back. I would suspect if she's done enough in the remaining portion of the round to overturn the strong start that Gu made.
I think just from her body language on the screen, then you could tell that she was disappointed in that round. So we'll see what the judges have to say.
Khalzova kept coming forward, didn't she? But she kept walking onto shots for me. And this is when Gu, there's that jab that you talked about, Tash. That was a super shot. Gu just launched into that front foot pressure. Didn't let her off the hook. Let's have a look at the scores. 2 have gone for Khalzova. You know, sometimes...
What do I know? What do I know?
Sometimes we just... yeah, well, there you go.
So it's tied up for judges A and C. So moving into the second half of this contest, stands at a very intriguing juncture indeed, because Khalzova now appears to have taken some inspiration from that, and the crowd playing their part as well. Good straight shot from Gu, but Khalzova came back with her own immediately. Now, if the pattern repeats itself that you highlighted, Tash, and Gu begins to fade here, Khalzova could box her way back into this contest and get a nose in front.
Gu needs a good round here. She needs to put her back in her place, if anything. She needs to get a grip of it. That's given Khalzova a lot of confidence. Look how she's coming forward. Sometimes she's not actually landing the shots, but it looks like she's the aggressor. She's forcing the fight, and that does impress judges.
It's an altogether different body language being exhibited by Khalzova here. She looked rather forlorn as she sat on her stool. At the end of that round, the judges, well, judges A and C, scored it in her favor, and she has come out far, far more brightly in this third round, and that was a cracking right hand that receives enthusiastic applause from the crowd here at the Barris Arena.
Gu doesn't want the crowd to be getting behind these and applauding all these shots, because that can sway the judges as well. So she needs, as Richie said earlier, she needs to start throwing some shots and getting Khalzova.
And look at the body language coming from Gu. She's leaning on the inside, and she appears to be fatiguing once again, as she did yesterday. Not the time to be running out of gas and getting tired in a World Championship final. But just in the closing stages, as she takes another strong right cross from Khalzova, she appears to be fading. She's the boxer that's keen to hold on, leaning on, not working away, and allowing Khalzova to make hay as she comes forward with another salvo of punches. Well, you pointed it out before the opening bell, Tash, and it seems as though we're seeing a repeat of yesterday's performance from Gu, just in the manner that her work rate has dipped, her body language appears forlorn, and look at the manner in which she's slumped on her stool with 1 round to go.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it yesterday, it's happening again today. And I said from the start, if Khalzova can just put the pressure on for 2 rounds, whether she wins the rounds or not, come 3 and 4, this will happen. And you can see her getting through with more success and more backhands and more hooks.
And Gu's got to watch it. She doesn't get a warning here. She's been told a couple of times, have a look at the scores. They've all gone for Khalzova, and rightly so. She was much the aggressor in that round.
So, it is a 1-point lead for judges A and C in favour of Khalzova. Gu is still leading, having taken the opening 2 rounds for Judge B. She's leading on that card by 1. So it's 1 point either way, judges A and C favouring the work of the home boxer. So into the 4th and final round we go, and this contest is balanced on a tightrope. Absolutely nothing in it. Judges A and C favouring the work of the boxer in blue, but make no mistake, it is her who is in the ascendancy because she conceded the opening round unanimously. Took round 2 for judges A and C, which was a little bit surprising. But then on the strength of that, she came out blazing in the 3rd. Gu looked a little bit sorry for herself during that particular stanza, and that is how we find ourselves in this 4th and final round of a gold medal bout that is fascinatingly poised.
At this stage of this contest, it's all about pushing the opponent back now. Gu has got to change things around. Although she's catching Khalzova with some shots coming forward, it looks like the girl in blue coming forward, the crowd's behind her. So Gu has got to change it and got to push the opponent back. She's a typical boxer who can't work on the inside. She's good at mid and long ranges, Gu, but in at close quarters, there's nothing coming from the Chinese boxer at all.
She's just tying her up every time it comes in close, and as you said before, she could get points deducted, so she needs to just box on, do what she was doing in the first 2 rounds.
But look at the manner in which Khalzova is marauding forwards. And it's Gu who appears to be running out of energy once again. The referee speaking to both boxers repeatedly. That's a good left jab from Gu, but straight back into the breach steps Khalzova. Clubbing left hook as the 2 boxers are at close range. Inside the final 30 seconds now, and there is still everything to fight for. Ended up being a rabbit punch because Gu turned her back. Still the final seconds of this contest. Good check left hand and then nice turn of the feet from Gu. So who can produce a grandstand finish as the 10-second clapper sounds? Trying to work away, but it's leaning on at close range once again. Khalzova trying to let her hands go.
Khalzova was so eager to get in that she was getting caught sometimes on the way in, so it would be interesting to see what the judges think there.
Indeed. Remember, there was 1 point in it either way. Judge B favoured the work by 1 point of Gu. Judges A and C favoured the work of Khalzova. Now remember, Khalzova endured, from our vantage point at least, a torrid 4th and final round yesterday against Elina Gustafsson. Was scored in her favour. What say the judges here? This one could take a while to resolve. We could be going to count back. Can Khalzova make it 3 gold medalists out of 3 for Kazakhstan here at the Barris Arena today? Nerve-wracking times for both of these boxers now. They'll be replaying the contest in their minds. Here's the verdict. It's Khalzova. She jumps for joy, having been declared a split decision winner over the tournament number 4 seed. Gu Hong, the reigning Asian champion, has to settle for World Championship silver here. And it is unconfined joy for Valentina Khalzova, absolutely overcome with joyous emotions. A warm embrace from her coaching staff. She conceded the opening round. She got herself back into it by taking the 2nd round for judges A and C, and fought with a fury and intensity that was simply impossible to deny. And she proved irresistible. What a performance. And there's absolute jubilation among the Kazakhstan supporters here. 3 boxers they've sent to gold medal bouts, and on 3 occasions they've had their hand raised. For the 3rd time we'll hear the Kazakh national anthem, and really, from my vantage point, that is hard-earned for Valentina Khalzova. She never betrayed any doubt. She fought fiercely throughout, and it was enough to overturn the deficit, the early advantage built up by Gu, and she is crowned as a world champion, adding to the youth bronze and junior bronze that she won in the world title in the developmental ranks. But look at that hard-fought victory for the home boxer.
I thought it was a